Not every Jane Austen adaptation is a love story for the ages. Some are so off base, they'll make you wonder if the filmmakers even read the book. These films had Austen fans raging, and not in a good way. A train wreck masquerading as cinema. Imagine a Jane Austen story shot like a found-footage horror film, complete with shaky cameras, dreary lighting, and zero charm. Captain Wentworth, played by Rupert Penry Jones, delivers his lines with all the enthusiasm of someone reading the terms and conditions for free Wi-Fi. The low point? Anne jogging around Bath for no reason, delivering exposition with an invalid friend who feels more like a pop-up ad than a character. The film desperately wants to be just a fun, romantic tale and is so afraid of portraying the leading lady as an asshole that it has the exact opposite effect on the viewer. Gwyneth Paltrow plays Emma completely straight. Instead of capturing Emma's wit and irony, she just looks like a misunderstood heroine trying to sell us overpriced jade eggs. And let's not forget their bizarre vendetta against Harriet. Poor girl didn't deserve that character assassination. This adaptation can only be described with one word: unpleasant. In this version, Emma isn't charming or misguided. She's portrayed as a chill-inducing villain, and Mr. Knightley is more patronizing than protective, giving us the most uncomfortable moment in Austen history. Right after Emma accepts his proposal, he reminds her he held her as a baby. Romantic? Not so much. Mark Strong plays Knightley with the energy of a stern headmaster, and his receding hairline only highlights the age gap between the two. This adaptation took Austen's unfinished work and turned it into something she'd barely recognize. At the center of Season 1 is Theo James as Sidney Parker, who's less a misunderstood Darcy and more like Austen's villains, minus the charm. Worst moment? The very first episode, where Sidney responds to Charlotte's innocent remarks about his brothers with a sexist tirade. Austen's wit is nowhere to be found, but the cringe is unforgettable. Andrew Davies, known for spicing things up, kicks things off with Willoughby impregnating a 15-year-old in a scene no one asked for. Faithful to the novel? Maybe. But it's awkward and dull compared to the 1995 masterpiece. And then there's ridiculously good-looking Dan Stevens playing Edward Ferrars, the shy, awkward clergyman. It's like casting a supermodel to play a socially awkward turtle. It is hard to find a person whose favorite Austen novel is Mansfield Park. The novel is dark, complex, and deeply uncomfortable, a far cry from the fluffy, sanitized adaptation we got. Fanny's return to her miserable childhood home? Gone. Instead, she's a plucky heroine overcoming mild inconveniences on her way to marrying her cousin. Billie Piper, bless her heart, is completely miscast. Fanny Price, she is not. And then there's that baffling voiceover narration that shows up in the opening, never to be heard from again. It's like they forgot they were making a movie halfway through. Some have called Mansfield Park unadaptable because of the protagonist's lack of involvement with the plot and general unlikability. This adaptation chooses to solve this by throwing Fanny Price's personality into the dumpster altogether and replacing her with a stand-in for the author, Jane Austen herself. The darker tone makes it a bit more watchable, but it's hardly Mansfield Park anymore. Nothing divides Austen fans quite like Pride and Prejudice adaptation released in 2005. Yes, it's popular, but let's be real, this film treats historical accuracy like a bowl of M&Ms, picking the bits it likes and throwing out the rest. Take Darcy's dramatic, rain-soaked proposal, filled with cringe-worthy sexual tension that Jane Austen never wrote. It was a scene straight out of a grocery store romance novel and is insulting to the brilliant writing of the original scene in the novel. If you can overlook the fact, you have a good time ahead of you.